What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to the Warframe video. So, I like to keep you guys informed on this channel of what's going to be happening in the future in Warframe, and what's currently going on in the game and all that. So, I want to let you know about the next Prime coming out after Korra, which will probably be like in around, I'd say like October, November-ish time. So Korra is officially over a month old at this point, so we can already start looking forward to the next Prime. And if you didn't know this, the new Primes come out basically every 3 months, like on the dot. Like give or take a couple weeks sometimes. Every 3 months in this game, there will be a new Prime access with Prime weapons and the Prime frame and all that stuff. So we're going to go into what the next one will be. But before we get to it, make sure you're subbed to the YouTube channel. Make sure you're the live stream channel as well. Going to be doing a lot more content going forward. Things have been really good on the channel, and I need to not be neglecting that and actually, do things properly around here. So I apologize for, missing some stuff there. I just have a lot of stuff going on in real life. All right, so the next Prime frame will not be Chroma. It will be the next frame that came out chronologically after Korra. And the way they do the Prime selections in this game is basically whoever got released first, like whenever years ago when Korra first came out, it would be the next frame after her. They do male, male, female, female. So, for example, Garuda Prime and Korra Prime are the last two. That means the next two will be male frames. I'm actually going to give you another peek forward to see what the one after the next one will be. But as far as chronological order, unless they randomly skip this guy, the next Prime Warframe will be Revenant Prime. A frame that not a lot of people fully understand how he works, but actually extremely powerful. Revenant is one of the tankiest frames in the game with his ability Mesmer Skin. And the reason that Revenant is so tanky is, unlike Rhino or, specifically Rhino and, kind of Nezha, unlike them where they have an actual health number for their tank abilities, Revenant's ability is instances of damage. So with this much power strength, we have nearly 17 instances of damage every time we have this ability up. That will be reflected back at the enemy and stun them. So that means if we fight, a level, 2,000 enemy, and the level 2,000 enemy shoots us, a million damage bullet, we face tank that bullet and don't even care. So that is why Revenant is so tanky. One of the reasons Revenant is so tanky, people don't understand that fully. But a better thing even with Revenant is that his weapons he came with are actually pretty good. The Phantasma and the Tatsu are Revenant's signature weapons, and the Phantasma is already a near meta weapon. Once we get the AoE nerf, if they don't nerf the Phantasma, I would say you can fully expect weapons like the Phantasma to become the new meta of the game, as they can clear out hallways, and they're pretty much AoE already. So the way this thing works is the primary shot is like a beam shotgun kind of thing that has impact and radiation damage, but look at that, no crit at all. So if they do make a Phantasma Prime, which I do think they will make it with Revenant Prime because it's such a popular and powerful weapon, they would get a lot of people excited for the Prime access with that. But if they do make a Phantasma Prime, look at how pitiful these crit stats are. 3% crit chance, 1.5 multiplier, but really high status chance. That is one of the biggest annoyances with this weapon. It's not like it even needs it, hilariously. Even with 3% crit chance, this thing melts the steel path, instantly, with the right build. Now, there's certain enemies that it doesn't work very well against. For example, Acolytes. This thing relies heavily on, stacking up heat procs really quickly. Little heat procs that combine to a big one. So, for Acolytes, they only have 4 heat procs at a time, so it's not good against Acolytes. But something like this, you can switch it from corrosive to viral heat if you prefer that. I find this build to be very effective. And then you have galvanized acceleration, making the beam length cover an entire hallway. It's a hallway cleaner. One of the best weapons in the game, easily. So if they were to buff the crit chance on this thing, the funny thing is any amount of crit chance buff would make this, it would be such a big upgrade. Because look at how low it is right now. Even if you give this thing 10% crit chance, that's over tripling how much crit chance it has right now. Now, the crit multiplier sucks. So an ideal situation for me, if they were to make a Phantasma Prime and weren't going to nerf it or whatever, is that we keep the base stats we have right now, the really high status chance, the really high innate multi-shot, all that stuff, the good stuff. And you'd buff the crit chance to 10%, and you buff the crit multiplier to 2. The funny thing is you wouldn't even really need to change the build at all, because I don't think that any of these mods would actually be worth taking off if it had 10% crit chance, because it doesn't need crit chance in the first place. It would just be a big bonus on top of what you already have. So that could be really juicy. I don't know what else they would change to it, really, besides maybe making the alt-fire explosion shot more useful. But then again, they're nerfing AoE, so do they really want explosion alt-fire shots to be more useful than they currently are? I'm guessing no. So, yeah, my prediction is they'll give it some amount of crit chance, and then them not nerfing it will be the Phantasma Prime. So really, really, potential new top contender weapon right here. If AoE is nerfed, it would just be like a double whammy of like, okay, well, AoE's been nerfed, this thing wasn't nerfed, and this thing was already like basically competing with AoE to an extent before it was nerfed. So yeah. Moving on to his other weapon that will probably come out with Revenant Prime. It's the Tatsu. Now, I like the Tatsu a lot, but there is a problem with this weapon type in general. Is that they're basically just heavy attack weapons because the stance for them is so bad. This stance right here, they could just call it like animation lock razor, or why is animation lock? Why is this animation take so long? So I want to call this stance. Because when you do light attacks with this weapon, it feels like they take forever to finish. We can just quickly go into the simulacrum and talk about this, but the Tatsu, it doesn't have the best base stats. It's got not the best slash waiting for a light attack, but if you even want to go for one. And the main like saving grace of the Tatsu is the force slash procs and heavy attacks. But then again, the same weapon type has the pennant, one of my favorite melee weapons, honestly. It's very similar to two-handed Nakana, but instead of like having radiation built in and stuff, it has I think it's puncture weighted mostly. It has a special passive where heavy attacks make it attack faster. So the Tatsu has some weird like little gimmicks where like you kill enemies and it makes like a skull that you can hunt, like a homing skull you can fire enemies. But look at these base stats. Just like the Phantasma, really low crit stats, honestly. 16%, not as low as the Phantasma, but 16% crit chance with a 2x multiplier and a 28% status chance. We do not need that much status chance on here. Especially with like how diluted these procs are. We have Rad, IPS. The Rad kind of just throws it off. Like now it gives you more procs for CO, but like I said already, light attacks in this thing feel like crap. So it can get a job done with just heavy attacks. So we'll show how that goes. I have a Riven too. But I also want to just showcase how bad this light attack is. So this combo right here, look, you are stuck in that. You are dead when you do that attack. Unless you have like massive attack speed, that sword gets stuck on the ground for way too long. So what they should do is if they're making a Tatsu Prime, you should also add in a new stance. They told us they're going to add a new stance to two-handed Nakanas a while ago. There you go. That's a slash proxy. That's a weapon with 16% crit chance right there doing that. So, but then again, like look at the light attacks. Total garbage. That guy got armor strips, so it didn't look too bad, but yeah, they need to add a new stance for these two Anacondas. Oh, do you see that? Did you see how long that took? What combo even was that? Where you spin around the, Oh man, that was bad. Here we go. Look at how long that takes. Oh my gosh. That's just you dead in a mission right there. Enemy shoot you once. Ugh. Yeah, new stance, please. Like a gold stance would be great. So the Tatsu needs some serious buffs, especially if it wants to compete with the Pennant, which is, the Pennant has a special passive when it gets a heavy attack, gets increased attack speed. We were just talking about how bad the attack speed is. So look at the Pennant right here. We got double the crit chance. A little bit less base damage, but when you got double the crit chance and a better crit multiplier, it's not going to really matter. And this thing annihilates enemies like near instantly, all over the place. So Tatsu could definitely use some buffs. The little like special Revenant like passive thing is really not worth it. Let's see if I still have the skulls right now. So it makes these little skulls. See right there, ×9. I think it should fire off skulls now. Those are the homing skulls. I think they set enemies up for finishers or something, but your finisher probably gonna do less damage than your heavy attack in the first place. So why even bother? So yeah, you get kills, then you do a slide attack. It fires out skulls. Makes enemies able to do finishers. So 100k on a finisher. 139, and then my heavy attack does like a 104,000 slash proc. So it's really not even worth doing the skulls. Yeah, so that's basically what you could expect. I'm guessing it will be in like, so Korra came out on July 18th. It's currently, or July 16th. It's currently August 18th. So, about 2 months from today's date, you can expect this stuff to come out. Hopefully it's really good. And we will probably hear about the AoE nerf on the 26th of August, guys. So keep an eye on my live stream channel and my YouTube channel. I will be covering all that stuff extensively. Okay, I won't be missing that stuff. I appreciate all the support. See you next time. And yeah, I hope there is Revenant Prime. There is one technical thing they could do. If they think Revenant Prime is not very popular and they want money now, Baruch is probably next in line after Revenant. So they could make Baruch Prime with his really underwhelming, what is that thing called? The Cobra and Cane. That is his signature weapon. So that would be a lot less exciting, but the frame is exciting to a lot of people. A lot of people like Baruch a lot. So he could potentially be the frame after that, guys. So keep an eye on that one, and I'll see you next time. Peace.